everybody, Geraldine Rose here with possibly the smallest shaker card I've ever made. It's also got a whole bunch of circles all over it. Alrighty, just a little bit of housekeeping first. There's a mail call form down below if you want to fill it out. We clear it each month after we send a card out. And also, please, a reminder, YouTube has changed the qualifications for us small content creators. And if I don't qualify by February 1st, it's going to be really hard and I'll pretty much lose everything. But on to the card. So this was for a birthday hop, of course, over at Instagram, which is great because you build up your birthday stash. I started out with the Crafted Canucks with their circle peekaboo cover plate, and then I also brought out their rustic sunflower, and I'm doing things in tones of browns and pinks with one highlight yellow sunflower. I wanted to accentuate the circles because all of the sunflowers have got that circular middle where the seeds would go. The pattern paper that I had in the back, it was actually flowers with circles through them too. I thought, oh, okay, that's going to work well for having another element of circles in there. And of course, you can see that that circle cover plate has the circles in it. So I've got them all cut out in my pink tones. I've got ones that are lighter on top and darker underneath. I'm deepening them up with some of the ink blends. I did the same for the leaves down towards the bottom. Those I only put one color of green on. The pinks, I used the same color pink, but it looked different across all of the colors of cardstock that I had there. And the yellow I put in an orange and a little bit of pink too. And the browns, just one shot of brown down at the bottom to do shadow. Now this is possibly the smallest shaker I've ever done. I brought out my Nouveau, their shaker mixes, or you can use them for small discs. There were some of the white and the gold and the bronze colored ones, and they're so teeny. And I was using my tweezers to pull them out and just put them in that little part. I did cut out the acetate, and then I layered it up in rings with some of the cardstock so that it had a well that all of those little pieces for the shaker mix would be able to go in. And I gave it just enough room so that they would shake back and forth. Ran the ring of glue around the outside of this, and I made certain when I die cut that one out that there was actually a flower that was underneath. So that's going to show through as the shakers move around on the inside. You'll see it when I flip it back over. Okay, so I was like, all right, well, that works. Now that the ink blending on those sunflowers has had a bit of chance to dry, we're going to add some interest. Grabbed out the Distress Watercolor Pencils. I'm picking out colors of pinks and reds for the pink sunflowers and mid-orange and darker orange like spice marmalade and ripe persimmon for the yellow ones. I'm flicking them outward so that they imitate that radial arcing, the veining that you see on flowers. And if you put those under UV light, you would actually see guidelines for the pollinators, bees, etc., to go in so that they know where to target the good stuff, the nectar, in the middle of the flower. As I said, I've got the pinks going down and I've got the oranges going down on the yellow one, and I left them dry. I did not smudge them out. I did not put water on them as distress products. They can distress in that manner, but I wanted that veining to show, so it's another layer of interest, of texture on those. We're going to glue them together. I offset them so it would make each sunflower look a little bit more full. The brown centers are going on the pink ones, and the shaker center went on that highlight yellow one. That one as well was the one that had 3 layers of cardstock so that it would really look more full, similar to what you would see with one of those really fancy, the teddy bear sunflowers, which are so cute. All right, the cover plate with the circles. Let's accentuate them a little bit. We've already used the watercolor pencils. Let's grab out the Distress Crayons as well. I have a pearlized pink. I have a couple of other pink tones from my older crayons out of my stash. These ones I am going to rub out because I am bringing in the water and I'm putting a couple of water droplets on, I'm letting them activate, and then I will bring in my napkin and dab it off. We'll jump to the inside of the card. We have Picket Fence, the crafty mail. I thought it would work for a birthday card because it's going to a person that has so many interests, and I thought she would get a giggle out of it. This one, I want to keep highlighting that pink. I need a stronger color to carry its weight with the colors that we've got on the front. So we used the lighter pink, and then as usual, we're darkening them up on each of the successive ones that we stamped down. And the other one was Shake the Tail Feathers. The flowers that are on the inside here were Gina K, and those were sunny flowers. I did have to get my stamp wheel out because the cardstock is hanging over the edge. And because I did them in such a light yellow, I then brought back in more of the watercolor pencils. And this is also going to mirror what's happening on the front with the sunflowers, in that I'm bringing in that pencil tone through the flowers and flicking out with like veining on them. Looks like I deepened this up with some ink around the outside corners. And for the sentiment, the Crafty Canuck, the happy birthday shaker. You can see that I'm running it through with glitter cardstock, and I had an extra shim underneath because I knew it was going to need it. And as I'm really having to Armstrong steer that thing through there, like the old rack and pinion steering that you had probably on your first Honda Civic. Pinks and browns, they go so well together. It's such a rich combination. I used some dark chocolate brown cardstock to do the shadow layer. Again, I wasn't putting a full shadow. This was just recutting it with the die set, and then I'm going to offset it just slightly so that it helps to bring that pink glitter cardstock more up to the surface. Also had some little rings from the pattern paper, and I thought, oh, those will work on the inside, you know, bringing the front through to the inside again. You've got the mirroring effect happening, and again, accentuating the repeating of the circles that we've got. Of course, custom stamp is going to go on the back. Had to check to make certain I had it the right way up first. Now for the sunflowers, I brought out my ball tool. I'm just giving them a slight curl, just so that they pop up off of the surface and look a little bit more lifelike. We've started gluing them all down, and I did set them over the circles from that cover plate, but just enough so that you could see that there were circles underneath them. So you can see there, I'm just kind of hovering it. Okay, well, how much do I have of that one pink? And I only put the pink in the circle underneath the one yellow highlight sunflower. So we're just going to tuck some of the leaves around too so that we get some movement around the card. They will point your eye in a direction to go around. And I didn't record this, but I did have a stencil out. It was actually poinsettias, but I did it with just a little bit of the paper glitz so that it would kind of look like sunflowers in the background, but I just did it at the top of one side and the bottom of the other. And the snippety snip part, so satisfying. Just your eye's going to complete what is off the edge of the cardstock. And this way I'll be able to send it through in an A2 envelope through the mail. Besides that, it's like, oh, it's so nice having such a clean edge and looking at it. Okay, and shiny, shiny, bling, bling, strawberry shortcake and the latte from Spellbinders, which is a very rich, dark chocolate brown again. Very similar to what we put as the shadow layer behind the happy birthday. That's the finished card with a whole bunch of circles everywhere and happy sunflowers and the smallest, teeniest shaker pen I ever did. So I'm going to send it out in a while, and you guys, hope you get your crafting time in. Thank you for sharing, subbing, liking, commenting. Please help save the channel, blah, 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 blah. We'll catch you all next time. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Bye-bye now.